Welcome to the channel. This is Jay Mancini, where we keep the wheels rolling and the cash flowing. So guys, today I'm going to be addressing one question that I see come up quite a bit. And I've seen this, guys sending not only us this question, but I also hear it here in the greater Houston area. And it seems to be a topic. So we figured, let's go ahead, do a video. Let's answer this question. Is the dump truck business saturated? All right, guys, so the first thing, you need to understand one thing, okay? You need to understand what's going on in your area. So what do I mean by your area? If you don't already know, the dump truck business is usually local, meaning within a 100-mile radius. So most dump trucks are usually gonna go within a 100-mile radius, and most of the time, they're probably gonna stick to 40 or 50-mile radius, right? So what this means is that you need to know what's going on in your area. Now, whether it's a city, a town that you live in, you need to be informed of what's going on. Now, what do I mean by be informed? Well, this is what I mean. The three things that you need to know. Okay, guys, so the first thing you need to know is you need to know what's going on in the asphalt plants, the sand pits, and the gravel plants. Most of the time, dump trucks, what are they gonna haul? Dirt, sand, gravel, and asphalt, right? So what you need to do is you need to get out there, find out what's going on in these plants. Now, I know you may be listening to this and you may be new, but again, if you've seen some of the videos we've done in the past, I'm big on getting out there and talking to people, right? So this is why this is so important from the very beginning. Get out there, talk to people, find out these people that are in the asphalt plants, gravel plants, sand pits, or sand quarries, right? Whatever it may be in your area, go out there, talk to these guys, and try to get some info. Find out, hey, do you know if there's big projects coming up? Hey, is there construction coming up in the area? Not only to guys that work at these locations, but also to the owner-operators, the guys that own dump trucks, especially some of the guys that have been around for a while. They're probably gonna have a little bit more inside info on what's going on. Now, if you happen to find a guy that may have multiple trucks, then that is a good sign, because that guy probably knows what he's doing. So these are the guys that you want to have conversations with, and you want to ask them just straight up. Be like, hey, you know what? I heard the dump truck business is a pretty good business. What do you think? Is there a business going on right now? Is there a lot? Is there, not enough? Are the trucks usually moving? These are things that you normally want to ask, right? Because when you go out to these locations, if you see that there's trucks coming in and coming out, usually that's a good sign, right? Now, if you go to these locations, you go to these plants or these pits or these quarries, and you see that trucks are just kind of sitting out, not much action, right? That might not be a good sign, right? But if you see that there's trucks coming in, coming out, you see a lot of movement, well, that may be a good sign. But once again, you have to get out, you have to talk to people, you have to ask the questions to give you more info on what's going on in your area. All right, guys, the second thing I would do, I would go online and do my research. What do I mean by do my research online? I would go to the city's website. I would go to the county's website. All right, these are two things that you can do, your state's website, okay? And go on there and look for projects. These are all public records. Even, to your local permit office, you can go there and you can actually find all this information. It's public. You can find out what projects are coming up. For instance, here in the greater Houston area, there was an article that just came out. They just pre-approved a major highway reconstruction that literally crosses through the entire city of Houston. It's gonna be like a $2 billion project. So what does that tell me? It tells me the following. If this $2 million project finally gets approved, not only is there gonna be a lot of construction because of this one massive project, but also inevitably what's gonna happen is due to this major construction, all the other areas that surround it will also eventually have to be under construction, right? Everything else that's connected will also have to be redeveloped, expanded, and so on. So with that being said, guys, these are things that you wanna do. You wanna go online. You wanna go and make sure that you do that research, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna find out if construction is booming in your town or what to expect in the future. All right, guys, the third thing that I would do is the following. I would actually go to the dealers that sell the dump trucks. Yeah, dealerships where dump trucks are being sold. And you're asking, Jay, why the dealerships? Well, have you ever thought about it, guys? If you go to a dealership, right, and you're gonna go buy a car, assuming, let's just say, you're gonna buy a car, and there's not a lot of cars out on the lot. That means they're selling cars, right? That means there's a high demand for vehicles. Everybody's wanting to buy a car. Well, somewhat similar to dump trucks, right? If you go out to a dealership that sells dump trucks, pick the guy's brain, whoever the salesman may be. And even if at that moment you're not ready to buy a dump truck, just kind of role play and pretend that you are, and be like, hey man, I'm looking to buy a dump truck, thinking about it. I've gone to a couple other dealerships, and just pick the guy's brain and just ask him, hey man, do you have dump trucks in stock? What does it look like? Are you selling a lot of dump trucks? Just pick the guy's brain and ask him, hey, what's your popular dump truck? What do people usually buy? This will give you a sign if people are actually in there buying dump trucks or people are ordering dump trucks. Now, I'm gonna give you an example. Out in the West Coast, I know a particular location where they're backed up right now, okay? So I was just in Arizona recently, guys, and let me tell you, out there, their dealerships are backed up. If you want to buy a dump truck, they don't have any, and you probably have to place an order for one, and they're like 6 months behind. So what does that tell me? That tells me, Jay, people are buying dump trucks for a reason. There's work out there. So that just gives you an example. This is something similar that you want to do in your area, right? Find out in the dealerships, hey, are people buying dump trucks? And if they are, there must be a reason why. All right, guys, last but not least, I want to read this article to you just to kind of give you some enlightenment, okay? On a year-to-year basis, industry employment has increased by 200,000 jobs, an increase of 2.6%. U.S. employers once again added jobs at a faster pace than expected in November. Okay, so this is in November when we usually kind of go into the slow time of the year, right? So with that being said, guys, what I know is that it'll definitely have an increase of anywhere between 3 to 4%. And possibly even higher. So what I'm trying to tell you is the following. Construction is booming in a lot of areas. What you need to do ultimately is find out, is there construction in my area? Is there enough work out there? Because if there's construction, there's gonna be work. And if there's work, am I gonna be one of those guys to have my dump truck that's out there working? So with that being said, guys, I hope you found this video valuable. You already know, make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends, and guys, we'll see you on the next one. We're gonna keep the wheels rolling and the cash flowing.